What's up? This is your host Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow, and it seems like we are in a good week. We are starting the week in green, and yeah, I think this will be an exciting week, especially we have a Fed announcement on Wednesday as well, and it seems like the US is currently exploring different alternatives to deal with inflation. So the first thing I want to say that I will be in the SIS Scaleup Impact Summit tomorrow. So if you have not registered and if you're interested in the speakers and stuff like that, you could definitely check it out. I'm not affiliated with them, it's just so happen I have tickets, but actually this is a local event based in Hong Kong where you have big Web3 companies and Animoca brands involved as well, right? So tomorrow, this is the agenda. They're gonna talk about the metaverse. Yasu is gonna be there, and then they're gonna, if you look at the agenda, you can see that actually even SCMP's CEO is Gary Liu is gonna be there as well. So and then they're gonna talk about crypto, making crypto part of a daily life, and also everything, all things crypto related, right? Yep. So you even have Evans here from Animoca as well, and also SCMP's Gary Liu as well. So this is an interesting event. It is a local, very Hong Kong based event, but if you are based in Hong Kong and you want to check this out, definitely check it out. This is a pre-event. They have a main event coming up. So basically there would be different type of panel speakers and stuff like that, and then you kind of network with them. And at the same time, I think it's interesting that they do have a pulse in Decentraland where you can jump in and also meet up virtually. And as you can see, these are the sponsors. Oh, I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just joining it tomorrow. So moving on to today's news. I think this will be an interesting week because if you look at this, the S&P 500 set to open higher after narrowly avoiding a bear market close. So last week was a slow and downwards week. But this week it seems like there are some positive news. The Dow futures rose 350 points Monday after the 30 stock average logged its first 8 weeks losing streak since 1923. So basically, in the past few weeks, it seems like crypto is trading with a huge correlation with the Nasdaq, which is the US tech stock index, right? But right now, if the US tech index is going back up, it seems that we'll have a slow recovery for crypto. Because if you look at this, we are having a slow recovery, right? In 24 hours, they have a 4.9%, but in 7 days, they have a 12% increase for a BNB and so on, right? But I think what is interesting to see is that bond yields move higher as traders wait for this week's Fed's minute, right? So what will happen is that the Fed is set to release on Wednesday the minutes from its latest policy meeting earlier this month, which resulted in a 50 basis point rise in rates, right? So definitely Wednesday will be an important day to look at if you are trading crypto, if you're actively trading, because if the news respond positively to that, the prices would go up. But if the if the Fed decides to go harder on tapering and also increasing the interest of borrowing money, then definitely the market will respond strongly. Hey, hello Dickens. So basically, I'm not here talking about Ethereum upward alpha. I did talk about the merge last week, but I want to talk about the bigger issues and also the macro environment. So thank you for watching, and I want to talk about what is interesting is that Biden also said he's considering easing tariffs on Chinese export, right? Measures to put in place by his predecessor Donald Trump. So his comment on tariff came after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen suggests that such a move may help ease rampant inflation gripping with the US economy. So right now everyone is very worried about inflation. Everything is expensive in the US because a lot of money has been printed. But if right now they're gonna reduce the tariffs, it means that more and more goods from China might be imported to the US. And which means that the goods might be more priced competitively, right? So because you have a lower tariff, people might be more willing to import goods from overseas, and that could control inflation. And once inflation is really controlled, right? Once the Fed starts to slow down the tapering and stuff like that, that's when the indexes like the S&P 500, the Nasdaq will start going back up, right? Because the market is starting to have faith that inflation is being controlled, and then that's when crypto really rallies, right? So for those, Dickens, if you're still here, I talked about how the testnet merge for Ethereum will happen in June 18th. So June 18th is definitely a day that we have to see, because for that we'll see whether if the testnet merge is successful, and if that is successful, it means that the chances of the August, the mainnet merge could have a greater chance of success, right? So, once it merged, I do believe that this could be like not financial advice, but remember back then when Ethereum changed to a burning mechanism, right? It was the EIP 1559. Once that happened, people were buying the rumor, right? Ethereum, just ran up, right? People were saying it's ultrasound money. So I hope at least that to a certain extent, this could start up a new bull market in August, but nothing is 100% sure. We do have a lot of news about inflation, food shortage, and stuff like that, right? In terms of not low gas, I'm not sure we will get that, but definitely we'll have a more environmental friendly Ethereum. Brands will be more open to say that they are, having the exchanges or activities on Ethereum. So yeah, that's the news for today. I do think that the market is very cautious right now, right? You have talk about the monkeypox. Could that be another COVID or black swan event? You do have something about a lot of people are saying that crypto is worth nothing, that I'm going to discuss today, right? So if we look at the crypto market, Bitcoin, we are now trading at 30,000. If you look at the total market cap, we are back at 1.31 trillion, right? So last week we do see the number dropping to 1.2, but now we are back at 1.3. So it means that money did come back into the crypto market. And then if you look at Ethereum, we are back at 2,000, but we aren't really rocketing that quickly because there isn't a catalyst that has a huge bullish momentum. But we're kind of trading sideways a bit, and then finally going back to the levels we were at in around here, right? That is May the 18th, right? So that's 5 days ago. So this few days were actually kind of hard to bear because you have huge fluctuations, right? But I do think that in general, long-term wise, things could be bullish if the merge is successful and if you have more and more news, right? So if you're watching this, if you're a pro ETH, you should also check out Cardano as well. They have an upcoming hard fork, which will make the smart contract more scalable in late June, okay? And also Polkadot is supposed to have a conference today and tomorrow, which could also have a lot of news coming out, right? So these are some chains that you might want to check out. So we look at the crypto bubbles, a sea of green. Interesting, we see that Phantom is one of the big green because I do remember that there is a developer that has been doing DeFi stuff on Phantom, decided to come back to Phantom ecosystem. So that's why people are, getting into Phantom. You have Aave, you have Ethereum Classic. So Loopwing is kind of green as well because of GameStop's new wallet announcement, which I will talk about shortly. But I do think that we do see a correlation with the market, right? If the traditional market, let's look at this pre-market, if the traditional market is green, especially the Nasdaq, the crypto market will respond accordingly, right? And when the crypto market respond accordingly, you do have these huge jumps, right? But sometimes, like, this is Bitcoin going, I have no idea why it's up 43% in one day, but I think it might be some news. So definitely, if you are doing your own research, check out cryptobubbles.net, click into these and check out, what is happening, check out the Twitter and see what news there are. So going back to the traditional, the crypto market cap, we do have, we're climbing back up, right? So money is going back up, but I do have a word of warning. We do know that there is gonna be an announcement on Wednesday, right? And if we look at the on-chain data, right? The Bitcoin on exchanges is actually quite high right now, right? Last time we had the huge Luna dump. We have a lot of Bitcoin coming into exchange. This could be the Luna Foundation selling the Bitcoin. And that kind of went back down, right? People were moving Bitcoin out of the exchanges. But recently, in the last few days, we do see Bitcoin coming back into the exchanges slowly, right? So could this be a sell the news event on Wednesday if the market does not respond nicely? Could people be selling the Bitcoin, driving the market to go down? I do think that there is these considerations. So if I were you, if I'm trading actively, in a shorter time frame, it is always important to be cautious. This website is called CryptoQuant. You can actually see how many Bitcoin is on exchanges, how many Bitcoin is going in, and also there's different type of tech indicators to tell you whether it is going to be a bullish or a bearish market, right? In terms of DeFi, I think we are still kind of recovering from the Luna crash with the Anchor protocol losing a lot of money and the total value lock reducing, right? But I do have an interesting news at the back about DeFi and also how institution demand is now lower, causing the lower yields in DeFi, which is similar to our news today. So some of course, I do want to share hopium, but I want to give you like a 50-50 market every day, right? Like I have to give you the news headlines that is happening, and you be the judge of whether you want to invest in this market and also what you think, right? So in terms of the NFT market, we have a neutral market, but I will look closely on other deeds. Basically, all the other deeds land has been claimed. So it means that they're gonna go to phase 2, which is gonna release the other deeds, technical demo, right? So that would definitely be something to look forward to. And therefore, you see Mutant 8 Yacht Club, Bored Ape Yacht Club have some slight green. But in general, the market is kind of a mixed market. As I said, a lot of money is either going to blue chip projects or going to meme projects like Goblin Town. Goblin Town was a kind of meme project. With rumors saying that actually Yuga Labs is gonna release a Goblin NFT. Could this be the project? But once these rumors has been cleared, you do see a 31% decrease, right? So it is not necessary that meme NFT couldn't help you make money. Of course it could, but then the huge fluctuation it has, and also once the news or the rumor behind it is broken apart, you could see a huge decrease. So it's always exercise more caution when you trade meme NFT. In general, NFT market is kind of cool down. The sentiment is still cool. If you look at the blue chip index, blue chip NFTs are still trading in a stable way. But in terms of the 24 hours change, right, the market cap and volume has increased a little bit, right? We do see a 27.61 billion market cap on Ethereum, and also a trading volume of 55 million in the last 24 hours. So there is a slight increase in the trading volume, but as we see in the last 30 days, the profit and loss is kind of almost at a break-even point. So if more people make profit on the last 30 days, it means that there might be more incentive to trade more oftenly. But now we're kind of like almost at a break-even point. So moving on to news, which is the news about, is crypto really worth nothing? So this is a recent news that came out, which is Christine Lagarde, who is the chief of European Central Bank, saying that crypto asset is worth nothing, right? So basically what happened was that she was on a Dutch program, college tour last night, and then what she said is that she stated flatly her belief that recent events have proven crypto asset to be worthless, right? So this is the event which is most likely the Luna UST event. My very humble assessment is that crypto is worth nothing. It is based on nothing. There is no underlying asset to act as an anchor of safety. So definitely she's talking about the stablecoin UST, which collapsed and is not as stable as they thought, right? So she said, the recent market crash came as no surprise, saying that I've said all along that crypto asset a highly speculative, highly risky asset, right? She also argued that before an audience of college students that too many young people invest in cryptocurrency expecting consistent return, only to fall victim to the market's volatility. And also, she said that investment should be made by people who have their eyes wide open, that the fact that they can lose it all, it has gone down by 20%. And then polling the audience, one of the college students lost 7,000 euro worth of Cardano last week, right? So, and also she did talk about CBDC. She said that the day when we have the central business digital currency out, any digital euro, I will guarantee it, right? So basically, it means that once the European euro CBDC comes out, there would be a backing for that, and that's her rationale saying that why crypto is worth nothing, because there's nothing backing it, right? So she said, so the central bank will be behind it, and I think that's vastly different from any of those things crypto, right? So this is what she said, right? It's crypto is not backed by anything. It is a lot of trust involved. And also in the past week, Bill Gates has a similar sentiment, right? Bill Gates said he doesn't own any cryptocurrency because it isn't adding to society, right? So what he said is that he don't invest. So there was a Reddit AMA where people could ask any questions to Bill Gates about his thoughts, and then someone asked him about crypto, and then he said he said he doesn't invest in cryptocurrency because he likes investing things with valuable output, right? So unlike what Christine has said, Christine is talking about crypto is worth nothing because there is nothing backing behind it, right? Bitcoin, it is the ideological idea that there's a limited amount of Bitcoin, and therefore there is a value there, which is kind of similar to all the assets that you see in crypto, right? So this is her rationale for that, right? Of course, you do have some fiat or commercial paper backed, US dollars. But that, for her, in general, is crypto. There's different type of cryptocurrencies, right? A lot of them are not really backed by US dollars or gold or whatever, right? And Bill Gates, sees this as input and output, right? So he cautioned people against investing in crypto before, especially those with less money than Elon Musk. And also he warned about the environmental impact of crypto. And of course, crypto Twitter didn't, take this nicely. They think that is bad or whatever. Bill Gates has his own agenda, and what is he to judge crypto, right? So Bill Gates also he said that the crypto environmental impact. So right now, crypto mining accounts for 0.5% of the electricity used globally, right? So I think replying to this, actually we did say that Ethereum is gonna move to proof of stake, which means that Ethereum 2.0 is gonna reduce 99% of the energy usage, right? So that could address this concern. But his concern is about the input and output of cryptocurrency, right? A lot of crypto gives you staking rewards, but where does this reward come from, right? If there's nothing that is being or output that is being generated, if there's no societal value that is being generated by these cryptocurrency, that's why he doesn't own crypto, right? Which I do want to share with you, which is another article on the blog, right? Which focus on yield farming, right? It focuses on DeFi. Waning institutional demand is forcing high-yield crypto accounts to slash rates. So basically, declining institutional demand to borrow crypto is diminishing the ability of platforms like Lend and BlockFi to offer customers tempting returns on their investment. So basically, what this article is saying that so first of all, why is institutional demand dropping, right? So institutional traders find it easier to profit from a crypto market that's in a state of contango, where the price of futures contract is higher than the current spot price, right? So right now there is less arbitrage opportunity across the markets right now because I think the market is in a downward trend. And also they also echo these points saying that the block had told the block that there were a lot of demand for crypto loans, key indicator indicating that the implied rate in open interest, the total number of open contracts are substantially lower than last year. These are bearish signals, right? And also these rates have dropped, right? So from a 9.25% for USDC now dropped to 7.5. So it actually tells us something, right? It tells us that first of all, let's talk about DeFi, right? Let's talk about the thing that Bill Gates talks about, right? For DeFi, the reason why you earn yield is that the first thing is that you actually borrow crypto to other people, right? You borrow crypto to other people so that they could use leverage to trade, and if they make money, they'll pay back, with interest. So that's how you earn yield, right? So right now, if institutional demand is lower, it means that the rates that you get would be lower because less people are borrowing money, right? And the other way of earning crypto is actually staking, right? If you're on a proof of stake protocol like Cardano or Solana, you can stake your Solana to help, for a validator, and then they would, do, processing, right? And then once they, mine a block, they will distribute the rewards back to the people who stake the crypto, right? So that's another way how you can earn yield. But that really also depends on how many people is using that blockchain, right? How many people is using the blockchain, how many people is paying gas, and how that gas is redistributed to these validators, right? So we do see two things, right, in terms of DeFi, right? The first thing is about borrowing and lending. To be honest, borrowing and lending, if it's only solely relied on speculation, if it's solely relied on leverage, then Bill Gates has a point, right? Because if these people are wrecking their lives, are losing a lot of money, they're no longer borrowing money from DeFi protocol, there's a chance that your yields will be lower, and that's why Bill Gates said there's no societal impact, right? But for example, if your money put in a traditional bank, what they'll do is they have business development offices. They have different type of branches where they reach out to real life businesses, right? They reach out to maybe a restaurant owner. They give them a loan, and these restaurant owners will pay back, based on how much money they make in the real market, right? Based on how much money they make in reality, right? So I think Bill Gates, Christine makes sense in a sense that a lot of protocols are actually money printing money, right? It is a lot of borrowing and lending, but these borrowing, the foundations of these borrowing aren't really built on creating real societal value, right? Say for example, if you could borrow crypto to open up a restaurant, to generate profit, generate revenue, and then using that revenue to share back as yield, then it makes sense, right? But a lot of these protocols are so new, and these people are actually developers rather than business development or business owners. They aren't really doing, you never heard of a team from a DeFi protocol reaching out to restaurants and then lending them crypto so that they could make real life yields and in order to get back to the market, right? So the thing that I want to say is that, and also in terms of staking, right? We need more real-life application of staking, not just NFT transactions, right? Vitalik Buterin has a point. If you don't have public goods for blockchain using blockchain technology, then you'll have less of these gas, right? You have less of these utility of the chain. So there are a few things that we have to, as a investor, or also as a market, or if you're a developer, you're watching this. First of all, I think it's important that it's time for us to build, right? But building is not just building more and more protocol, duplicating different type of DeFi protocol, but it is really business development, right? It is really building real life applications of crypto, right? Not another like, oh, lending and borrowing, right? But more like, how can we help businesses, real life businesses that generate significant amount of income, borrow crypto and also pay back on these crypto to expand the business operation, so that these people, investors or yield farmers, actually generate yield from the real life economy, right? So I think this is something that we need to advocate, rather than just like, oh, where do I have the most yield? The thing we need to ask is that, how is this protocol allowing real life businesses to borrow from them and also to generate real life utility, so that we, as we get more money that is solid, rather than just maybe for example Polygon, Matic, they use their fund, the money from the VCs in order to redistribute and giving you staking rewards, right, in their token, right? So I think of course this is a uphill battle, but if we want Web3 and also if we want this technology to survive, we do have to find more real life utility. So definitely these industry leaders, of course, they have their own point. And also in the end, I always say it's about the technology, how we use the technology and how we build value using that technology. And that's why I have this YouTube channel, hoping to educate people, like, don't chase the most yields, but be a responsible investor and ask this protocol, how are you generating real life utility using your protocol in order to redistribute this revenue to all the other holders, right? So that's why I'm kind of bullish into maybe music NFTs, where they gives you utility, own a part of the streaming revenue and stuff like that, because that is real money being generated from the NFTs that you buy, or also cryptocurrency that you invest. So moving on to our next news, real life utility, which is GameStop rolls out MetaMask Ethereum wallet. MetaMask-like Ethereum wallet to support NFT marketplace. So basically, as we have known, GameStop is trying to launch the NFT marketplace, which would be supported by a Loopring CK World technology, which also explains why Loopring has a 22.2% increase, right? So we just saw the Bitcoin crash just succumb to zero, right? So it's interesting to see how fluctuations are happening in the market. But this explains why there's a 22% increase, which is actually the GameStop wallet is here. So you can actually download the GameStop wallet. And then this wallet would be, it's a non-custodian wallet. So it's kind of like a MetaMask wallet, but it does track user information like IP, GPS, coordinates, and information near the user's device, right, according to the private policy. So, it shows that now GameStop is, not just selling games, but also embracing the space, also creating a wallet service, right? Use this at your own risk, because they said this is still a beta mode. Okay, so you can securely store, send, and use ETH, NFTs, and ERC20 tokens within the self-custodian Ethereum wallet. So it is on Ethereum, but then they have a layer 2 integration, which uses a Loopring, right? They also talk about security, private phase, and stuff like that, okay? So next news is that NFT artist Beeple Twitter account hacked in phishing scam. So Beeple's account was unfortunately hacked. People, it posts a link where people click into it to mint an NFT, but actually clicking into that link will steal your crypto, right? And then within like an hour, like a day, right, more than 70,000 in Ethereum was stolen. So this actually tells you that if someone out of the blue say that they have a new launch or whatever that has never been spoken before, always do your research and be careful, because there are a lot of scam in the space. So anyways, that's it for today's news. I hope you enjoyed this news. If you had the Scaleup Impact Summit, feel free to DM me, let me know. Or if you enjoyed today's content, and also if you are a protocol and you're building something with real life value, just feel free to reach out to me. I would love to feature you, and just to share ideas, right? Because in the end, real life value is the most important thing, right? And that's crypto technology is beautiful, right? Like tokenization, it gives ownership and a lot of different type of stuff, digital asset. But if we do not generate real life value using this technology, then it will become an echo chamber where you have these industry leaders saying that, hey, you aren't really generating value, you aren't really giving back to society, right? It's all speculation. But that's why we all need to have education. That's why you always have to advocate. Like, if you really believe in the space, not only do you invest, but you also look at the real life application. You question these protocols. You ask them, you advocate them to move on to use the technology to have real life application. Like, for example, GameStop, where they might sell games or maybe game related collectibles using the platform. So there are some value generated. It is a brick and mortar store generating real value, and I think that's the most important thing, and one thing that a lot of protocols and also developers should look at, right? You can have the best technology, but if you don't have application, then that technology isn't worth anything, right? So yeah, it's like a tango, right? It's a dance, right, between developers and also business ideas, right? Or everything merged together. So I hope you like this episode. Remember to like and subscribe. Feel free to share this with your friends if you like this, or check out my tweet. I have a tweet every day, which is too long to not watch this video, then you can check that out. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, and also trade safely this week. I'll be here this week with you, signing out.